No problem. Yeah, you don't have to. I mean, yeah, you don't have to worry about right away. You don't have to worry about like home planet and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Do you want a copy of this dude, or do you just want a quick breakdown? Or
Yeah, yeah. If you've got a copy, you can send it to me. Send it to me in Messenger. That's fine.
I'll do that. He's nothing really special. He's better at sensors than what he has been.
That's good.
Yeah, got a little bit of computer skills, and then other than that, planet science and life science, and some personality.
Nice.
So that's that.
So Stimpy becomes more of a actual. I'm going to become a real boy.
He's working on it. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Yep.
Okay.
Now it's time to go look for more grains and fruits.
Oh, there's going to be all sorts of fascinating things. So, welcome to Deepnight Revelation. We'll be picking up where we left off last week. These guys have found the system tentatively named DDQ DDQ 23, and it has two planets that have been nicknamed Prospect 1 and Prospect 9. Prospect 9 was a rocky world out towards the outer edge, the outer planets, but it had developed a atmosphere, and it had also developed seas, and so the atmosphere of that world is actually quite dense, but the atmosphere is like ammonia and methane and rather unpleasant. But they did detect traces that there is very likely life forming in the oceans on that planet, and that in a couple million years they may be putting off enough gases and whatnot to change the atmosphere. Prospect 1 is the Garden World prize of the system. And so the Deep Night Revelation has kind of parked into an orbit, and they have planned for a 3-week stay on the surface. And cool, thank you, Wes. And so they're going to stay here for about 3 weeks. They're going to doing scientific research, and they are bulk gathering grains and vegetables, berries, fruits. They're doing some hunting. There are two native life forms on the world: the armored, large armadillo-like herbivores, and then there are these predatory birds that have leathery bat-like wings, and they are pack hunters. And there are, of course, other animal life on the planet, but those are the two of note. And they are using this time not only to do research and gathering, but they, of course, are spending some time for R&R. They've been in space for close to 3.5 months, so they are in much need of rest and relaxation. And
What a
so
bunch of wimps.
there are so the missions that are going down to the surface have been crammed full of unnecessary personnel, just so that people can get down and touch grass.
Someone's making kind of a loop, or
Yeah, there's a bit of
something.
an echo. But anyways, so they have set up security details, but the EXO has told them, as far as punishment for not carrying a weapon or not following through with procedure, use a light touch, because these people need to vent off whatever steam, and so There have been a couple of issues, but we'll get into that. Before we get started, we would like to thank one of the friends of the Greenwater Guildhall. None of these are sponsorships or partnerships of any kind. They are just products that we really like. And tonight we'd like to thank Fable Beard Company. Fable Beard Company makes oils, balms, butters, beard wash, and co-wash. And each of their scent profiles is a different fantasy character. Tonight I'm still going through my collection from last winter, and I am actually wearing the Caroler, which is going to be coming back around probably around the end of November. But they have a ton of different scents, and I'm sure they have one for you. If you are a first-time purchaser, you can go to fablebeardco.com, create an account, and you can put 2 beard oils into your cart, and when you check out, you can use the code FIRST in all capital letters, and that will get you a 10%. Or, I'm sorry, you will get that second beard oil for free. If you're a fan of the channel, you like our shows, we do have a merch store. It is via Zazzle. We have buttons and t-shirts, including a t-shirt and button with the pirate flag from our Wednesday night group, the Pirates of Dyranex, made by Cameron. And we've got a fleece blanket that goes all the way from itty-bitty baby size all the way up to ginormous bed size. We've got a beer stein. So if you want to help support the channel, 100% of the proceeds from that store go directly back into the channel. Go get yourself a t-shirt or a button, and we definitely appreciate you. All right. So, man, I have spent this whole week, I've been working on a treatise of magic and spells by Maximilian Taxidantilus. And I've just been pounding the keyboard, trying to get through this. But I have actually completed the expanded spell lists for clerics and their spell descriptions, and I am now up to 3rd level spells for druids. So it's coming along nicely. It's coming along quicker than... Honestly, it's coming along quicker than I anticipated, even though I kind of feel like I should have got further along today than I did. But I don't know why I feel that way. But I mean, it's not like I didn't get a lot done. But anyways. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. Next week, I will be once again working on the new RPG that I'm developing, Humanity Build Better Worlds, and working on species for that game. Starting with androids. So, yeah, I am keeping myself busy is what I'm doing. Kind of running around like a chicken with no head. So that's coming. But currently, the latest book in the Braunhaven series is out. What's the name of that book? Oh, my brain. It is the Lost Mines of Drothamstone. And... So yeah, that is available on DriveThruRPG, both in digital PDF and print on demand, and it is available on the Roll Store. If you go to playroll.com, it is a free VTT. Create an account. They have a store that you can purchase books from, and when you purchase those books, you can just import them directly into your games. So it is all of my books are available for sale there as well. They're also available for sale over on Big Geek Emporium, but I'm not sure if they have pulled their head out of their ass and fixed their shit, or I don't know what's going on over there. But I don't know. Like, last time I checked, you weren't able to purchase one of my books because the screen was all screwed up, and nobody, after 3 emails, they never responded. So I don't know. I'm kind of done with Big Geek Emporium. I've kind of written them off at this point. I might just pull the books entirely from that site. I'm so done with their shit. But anyways, so you guys have been on, by this point, you've been on Prospect for probably about a week and a half. As you can see from the picture, you guys are having giant armadillo-like steaks and ribs over makeshift barbecues. And the crew of Revelation is enjoying themselves. There's a volleyball net, and there have been some minor injuries. Like very minor, a broken arm here, a sprained ankle there. Basically, people just doing what people do on recreation. Um, Perhaps a little bit too much, too many adrenaline junkies, and so you end up with some injuries. But for the most part, people are doing okay. But everybody here can make a Recon plus Intellect check. Randolph's Randolph is going to be distracted. Wow, Jack might be distracted as well.
12.
Nice. Okay. So, Serta and Serta and Bocephus, you both notice. So, a couple of things are going to happen at the same time here. So, Serta and Bocephus, you guys are walking around your, I guess you're going to call it the base camp area. Some prefabs have been set up. Since you're here for 3 weeks, of course, prefabs, more than a couple of tents, but a lot of the crew, even though prefabs and tents are available, they're just laying sleeping bags out in the grass and sleeping open under the stars. And the crew is having a blast. But Bocephus and Serta, you notice you've said things to people over the past couple of weeks, or week and a half. You've noticed that not only are some of the policies. So one of the procedures was that the captain wanted everybody to have a sidearm on them at all times, and you guys had set up a policy, kind of taking that a step further. Like, obviously, if you're playing volleyball, you're probably not going to be wearing your pistol. That's understandable, but you guys set up a policy where you're kind of rotating out security details, and the two things that you notice is that those that are on security detail are not paying as much attention, perhaps, as you would like. Although, aside from the predator or the flying predators, which haven't been too much of an issue at this point because they are scared away by noise, and this base camp almost always has noise. There's music playing, and you have learned that they don't seem to be coming out at night. So these are not nocturnal creatures. They roost in the trees or whatever during the evening, and they're not an issue at night. So, but I mean, you've noticed that there's a lot of slap and tickle, ass grabbing, and the security guys just aren't doing as well as they could. The other thing that you've noticed is that even though like research teams are going out and on minor excursions, and there have been a couple times where you had to bring up to them because they're just not they're getting too at home, and they're not bringing their sidearm with them, and so there have been some security concerns, but
Yeah,
Jack,
so the wildlife is dangerous.
can be, yes. I mean, there haven't been any real incidents of being attacked, especially by either of the two major dominant forms of life. But you've watched the flying predators are capable of taking down these
VW bus-sized herbivores.
Yes, yeah. They are pack hunters, and they are more than capable. So for Gabe and anybody else watching, these are the armored herbivores. They are large. They've got a mace-like tail, but for the most part, they're fairly docile. And they move around usually in small family units, between 5 and 8 of them at a time, with one alpha male, a couple of females, and probably 2 to 3 calves. These family units do occasionally group up and form a larger herd for a limited amount of time, where they kind of trade females between the males back and forth, thus keeping the genome, diverse. But they don't. That's not a long-term thing. They might form up like into a herd for maybe a couple of weeks and then scatter back into their familial units. The other dominant form of life is the flying predator, and these guys, they are, what do we figure? Their wingspan is like 3 feet in width. They are pack hunters, and these guys have actually witnessed them take down one of those armored herbivores. And they do it just by basically it's a battle of attrition. They just keep pecking. They find the weak spots and go for them over and over and over. And no matter how long it takes, they seem to be tireless when it comes to that. And in that way, they can take them down. So the planet isn't without its wildlife dangers.
And then there's the things that we don't even know about.
Right. And so you guys have there are, and I will show this as well. This is the planetary map. So there are, large oceans. The marker here, the Jack marker is actually where you are landed on the end of this little peninsula here. And so there are large oceans. As of yet, nobody has ventured into the seas to see what's going on in the oceans. It doesn't seem. I mean, there has been like some tests. That there is fish and wildlife in the oceans. Nobody. Well, no. I would imagine that some of these guys have probably gone down and cast nets into the sea or done some fishing. So, yeah, that there is life. You don't know if there's any large predators, but it stands to reason that there likely is.
Well,
no, go ahead.
Megalodon.
Well, no, I was saying, man, if everything's getting real lax, what concerns me is about people carrying the lax attitude off into space, where small mistakes kill lots of people, and so I don't really like that, and so I mean we ought to take and just do an extra week, and in that time we get out of vacation mode and get back into work mode, but we craft it in such a way that we're not like we should maybe start doing some pinnace patrols to keep with the scouts and all that, just constantly doing patrols around in an area way, just to get our pilots and engineers and all that, get them some time back on the job. And
I was hoping that by grouping people up, you could have two people that are more relaxed, but that one person knows, hey, today I'm on duty. I've got to keep my head on a swivel. I'm Overwatch for our group. And so I was really hoping that we could keep that sort of process in place.
Yeah, instead, because the world is so more or less inviting and the birds haven't really been an issue yet, instead what is happening is that the guys that are on security, instead of keeping their head on the swivel and staying frosty, they're half-assing their way through it and kind of 1 foot into the recreation as well kind of attitude. And the other thing that you two notice is that it's not just the standard crew that are dealing this, because walking up to Randolph and Jack they've got, of course, Randolph is fiddling with his still in camp. And standing near the still, and he actually surprises Randolph and Jack. He comes up and taps him on the shoulder, is the ship's XO. And you see him, he is not wearing his uniform top. He is just wearing like a ship standard tank top undershirt, basically a wife beater, and he's wearing his planet side dungarees, and he's got a sidearm on, but it's not even secured to his hip. It's just hanging from his belt, and he has a tin mug of some of Randolph's prospect brandy, which hasn't even been aged, but he's enjoying the shit out of it. And he comes up to Randolph and Jack, and he says, "Which one of you came up with the idea of creating the still?"
I did. Randolph did.
Well, you have done an excellent job, and he is partially gassed.
Partially gassed, not fully gassed.
Not fully gassed, but he's feeling all right. And you look at it. You've never seen him look like this. Like he is usually pretty pretty buttoned up on the ship.
I turn and look to the another chemist and say, "Check the alcohol content in that last batch, please."
It's like, I don't think you need to. I think this sounds great. It's perfect the way it is. Probably going to be better.
What
if
is
age
it?
I mean, it's been aging. This batch has been aging for maybe like a day and a half.
Well,
Yep.
I have a batch. I have some up and stairs on the ship that have been aging for 3 weeks now. That's from the different planet.
Right.
Well, if everything's getting that lax, then we need to do something to intervene. I mean,
I know we sent out a ship on another mission in the system, right? How long are they going to be gone for?
They've already cycled back. They did find some stuff. Hold on here. Let me fix
Okay.
my thing. There we go. So they did find some really good stuff on Prospect 9, and they have been doing some mining that will produce 100 units of exotic materials.
Okay.
So
that's really good.
yeah,
I mean,
they kind of hit a small motherlode vein.
do they need more time?
Random checks and beatings.
Or do we? I mean, I thought it seems like they're back, so they may have as long as they've cycled into some R&R. That's what I want to make sure.
Yeah, they've cycled out that group and sent another group, and so the mining will continue for probably another week or so before they call it quits. But the total amount will end up being 100 units of exotic materials. And go ahead.
Maybe we should recall a large portion of the people, because everything's getting so lax, and get them to start doing checks, system analysis, making sure all their ducks in a row, turning in requests for things that might need to be repaired or refurbished
we know that on this planet there's certain things we need to collect to bring back to the ship, and so I think we've set up a meat processing process.
Yeah.
And so there are other things though that we probably need to gather.
Yeah, you're doing bulk harvesting and bulk meat processing, and ships. Ships' utility boats are frequently making trips back up to Revelation to drop them off.
So those are the areas where I would be worried most about people screwing around. If you've got people that are doing assembly line meat processing, we don't want them playing grab ass.
Right.
No.
Or drinking Randolph's brandy.
But I mean, in terms of surveys on this planet, are there minerals or anything that we're looking for here that?
There have been some prospecting going. There's been some prospecting going on. Surveys. So far, nothing has been found that is extraordinary. But there have been, some they have found some signs of like iron deposits, nickel deposits, pretty standard stuff.
Okay. And soil is nothing unique or unusual or interesting for the botanists
Oh,
or anything like that.
they're finding all sorts of genomes and both beneficial and detrimental bacteria, and so they are kind of studying that soil mix.
All right. Yeah. 'Cause
I have
that's the type of stuff I want to make sure that's stuff I'd be worried about more than.
I have something I'd like him to start searching for.
Yeah.
I would like the gun crews to be able to have something to really shoot at instead of just doing simulations. So I think we need to start manufacturing drones, or at least, a target drone. Doesn't have to be overly complex. And I'd like our beloved lieutenant to have the task of checking with the scientists at every place we stop to see if the resources for doing that are available.
Okay. Okay.
And have there also been any species other than the two prevalent ones jump up? I mean, is there any signs that all this exploring and playing and shooting where we've seen anything? Is there anything else? I mean, is there a Tyrannosaurus Rex that might be lurking around and we just ain't seen it yet? Or
no,
are we seeing signs of anything?
No, but the thought on that is that this is a I don't want to necessarily say a new world, but it is a world that is early in its life processes. And so the thought from the science community on that is that the likelihood is that the larger creatures that dwell on this planet are probably in the deeper sea. What you are seeing with these predatory birds and the armadillos and the there is some smaller life on the planet, small rodent-like creatures, things of that manner. What they are suggesting is that these are some of the first fish to climb out of the oceans and have evolved into this form.
All right. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just had to get on my things. I think we're making drones or talking about that.
Yeah, so Randolph, if you want to set that up, let's see here. That's actually not a terrible idea. So Randolph, do you have, well, Randolph,
I got Leah.
Go ahead and make a mechanic plus intellect check.
Okay.
Or if you've got engineering, you can make an engineering plus intellect check.
I got all kinds of engineering. 9.
Okay. So you create this mock-up of the type of drone that you're wanting. What do you envision this drone to be like?
Have rapid acceleration, some evasion, and
do you want it to be like a grav drone, or do you want it to be wheeled or tracked, or?
I'd like it to be fusion powered or chemical powered.
Well, it'll probably be electric, but did you want it to basically fly hover, or did you want it to...
space. It's just for space.
Oh, I see. I got you.
The first generation just for space. So I plan on randomly launching them and making sure the gun crews react
I got you.
and can hit them,
Rather than aiming at asteroids, have something that it can actually duck and
evade.
dodge and weave.
It'll have doesn't have to have a really complex computer system. Just something that randomized maneuvers and not hit enough sensors to not hit something when it's where it's going.
Gotcha. And so you come up with a mock-up for this thing, and if you have a leadership skill, you can make a leadership plus your social.
Seven.
So well, I mean, a 6, it's a routine. So you bring this mock-up to these engineers and show them what you want them to kind of design. Now, of course, they don't have, all the way down here in the base camp, they don't have the manufacturing facilities.
Capability.
But they do in the workshops up on Revelation, and so these guys are like, well, yeah, I mean, as soon as our rotation's up, we can start on this right away.
Thank you.
They said, can we embellish it, or do you want it exactly to these specs, or should...
You can embellish it. Use your imagination. Don't go too wild, though. We don't want these to be too expensive. We're going to blow them up.
Right. Keep the cost down because they are disposable. Gotcha. Okay. Bocephus, you have communications, don't you?
I do. Also, while we're still processing this information that you gave me, I think I want to medically try to induce a little paranoia.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Well, I'm going to say, while we're on this environment, it's come to my attention that we might need to do some inoculations just to make sure that everybody stays healthy with all these new bacteriums and stuff. And so, most everybody will get just like a little placebo. But, let's say 25%, I'd like them to be kind of paranoid. And if I could medically induce that'd be great.
Okay. Go ahead and make a medic plus education check.
So, I'm take a big pharma approach to everything. It is truly a healthy and civilized way to go.
Better living through chemistry.
Right.
Well, 16.
So yeah, with the 16, you kind of go through, and so what kind of ratio are you talking about?
Let's go for a good 20%
Jesus.
Of the.
That's a lot of people. There's only 500 people on the ship total, and probably 250 of them at any given time are out down here on missions.
Yeah. Let's just 50 people here in base camp, let's make them a little bit edgy so they'll keep better guard duty, maybe tell some ghost stories and stuff at night about secret spectral fucking dinosaurs that swoop out of nowhere and bite people.
Well, we can have Dave the Wizard give some mighty tales.
Yeah, well, yeah, Dave the Wizard, Dave Anderike is down here.
About 10%. 10%.
That would be a more 10%.
Yeah.
Even 10% is a huge number. I mean, when you're talking about medicinals, as an example of like 400,000 or 500,000 people, with vaccines, they talk about numbers like 1.5% might see an adverse reaction, or 0.8% may see a breakthrough of the disease. So 10% is a lot of fucking people, man. I mean,
I need a sizable amount of people to stay on guard and protect us. And if there's some side effects or something of that, I mean, think of the papers I could write about how I cure that.
10 and 20% is like, now you're talking about death results from OxyContin.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, if you think that my character would go for a lower thing, like maybe 5%, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
My goal here is to try to inspire more dedicated guard
I
duty.
would think that from a medical standpoint, 3% would be probably a
Okay.
high percentage.
Yeah, I'll defer to that.
What are you talking about? This drug's completely safe. Only 3 in 7 people died.
I know.
It wasn't very many. It was only 3 people that died.
Yeah.
I mean,
You don't have to say
died,
of.
yeah.
You don't have to say the of part.
Right. Oh shit.
And actually, Stimpy has Medic Zero. He can give shots too. He can help me.
So yeah, so Bocephus is handing out Inox. Are you telling the rest of your like the rest of your command crew, or are you just giving everybody shots?
Man, when you're my level of a physician, you don't have to ask about these things. It's for their own good.
Well, okay.
You know, I don't need to do all that.
It's the Jim McCoy approach to medication.
Yeah. Yes.
It's my job to make sure that we all live to get to the point where we all die, and with that, I need to make sure that we have an active guard. It's just important.
Bocephus is the new CEO of Space Pfizer. So you're giving out Inox, and this goes. I mean, there's enough people. This probably takes a couple days, or a day and a half. And on the second day of this, midway through the second week, so it's, like noon on a Wednesday, and somebody comes running over to you and Stimpy as you're giving out inoculations and tells you that they are receiving a garbled transmission from one of the research crews. They're not able to clear it up.
Well, let's give it a shot. See what we can spin out of that. I guess. There's no reason to panic just yet. I happen to have a communication skill of 1, but I'm very educated, so I feel I can do this just fine.
Yeah, electronics, communications plus education. You should be able to find the frequency.
Yeah.
And
11.
Indeed you do. So the communication is garbled not because it is being jammed in any way, or even of course terrain has something to do with it, but you clear it up enough that you get in contact with this team, and evidently there was a group of researchers. They took one of the Vendara air raft out. Or no, they didn't. It wasn't. I'm sorry, I'm wrong. They took a Deepnight boat. Where's my Deepnight boat? Okay. Oh yeah, I guess this is it. So they took one of these Deepnight boats out. And which you guys, you know that the base camp is using these boats extensively. They're hauling meat, they're hauling bulk food, and the researchers are using them to reach some of the higher peaks. And so this particular team took one of these research boats, or utility boats rather, up to a ridge line, and they were kind of hopping along the ridge line from point to point, and they were planting basically weather prediction scanners. They're basically trying to do meteorological studies. The problem is that their boat suddenly just took off and stranded them up here, and they inadvertently have tried to place a weather scanner right on top of a nesting area for these predatory birds.
Oh shit!
And they're
Their dinner.
they're kind of the initial communication that you're receiving is kind of a mix of nervous jovialness, like they're kind of haha, this sucks. And the issue that they're having, well, first of all, they were very lax. They left their long arms in the boat. So they do have sidearms consisting of some of the Deepnight revolvers. These. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. These revolvers. So they've got some of the Instill Arms 635 revolvers. And they make enough noise that the birds are scared of those. But they don't stay away for very long because they didn't know that this was a nesting ground. And the Gauss pistols that they are carrying, being a standard Gauss round, Gauss pistols, they're working, but the birds just simply are not as scared of the Gauss pistol because it doesn't make nearly as much noise. And so they just keep coming back and back and back. The other problem is, of course, the only comms that they took with them were their personal comms. They didn't bring a transceiver or anything. And the way they're contacting you now is that they have kit bashed a longer range communications setup using parts that they scavenged and put together from the weather scanner that they were setting up.
Okay.
They don't know where their boat went. The pilot just took off.
Fuck. The pilot just took off with it. So the first, we need to do a two-part. Is our, I guess first I need to call the group. I can't hear you, Randy. I see your mouth moving.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we need to send somebody to either we or somebody needs to go look for the boat, and then someone else needs to go deal with the stranded folks. Maybe we could do the same thing. Is that emergency response Pinnacle team still here?
They're at the base camp.
Right. So, I mean, I guess me and the boys can just go commandeer that and whatever crew members we might need to facilitate, and we go, looking for the boat, looking for the rest of these crew guys.
Okay. So this is a Deepnight pinnace. So you're gathering the rest of your command team?
Of course. Okay. Randy, Gabriel, Sarda.
It'll probably be easier to pick them up from. I mean, we can figure out where they are from the broadcast, right? But the ship itself, does that have anything to trace or?
It does, in fact. So you can. So. Sarda, or whoever wants to make it. So there are two things that you can do. You can look through the computer records and determine who is assigned to this team. Who was the pilot is basically what you can do, and then you can also run a sensors check, sensors plus your choice, education or intellect, to determine where the ship is.
Sure. So let's do that.
So if you wanted to do
all of that,
so if you wanted to make a routine electronics, computers plus intellect or education, that will tell you who was in charge or who is flying the ship.
computer plus intellect or education.
Yeah.
Stimpy gets +3 in that.
So 9.
Okay, so you find out that that the pilot of the utility boat was one and only, and it's his first time out since his massive injury, was
Never.
Maya.
There's no way in hell we're letting him pilot anything.
He was given authorization from the XO.
I would say that he is suicidal and should be kept on suicide watch the entire time he's on planet.
That's great. What we'll do is we'll go after him first. We will execute him and be done with this bullshit.
So your
And
sensors check.
He's just going to end up missing. We'll take the boat.
Your sensors check reveals that the boat isn't very far from that position and has gone basically down the mountain where these guys were placing these weather beacons, and is now stationary at the base of this mountain. And Bocephus, you can make another electronics communications plus intellect or education. You are receiving a distress signal from that location at the base of the mountain.
This dumbass has done fuck something.
It is not coming from the utility boat.
Ooh, that's weird. I will alert the crew. No.
Okay, so
Time to weapon up.
Oh hell yeah, we can hear you, Randy.
nice.
Get the damn guns. Jack, grenades.
So where are you going? You have got two different distress calls. One up on the mountain. They're dealing with birds, and as these guys are talking, they're you can tell in their voice that what started out as nervous, just semi-jovial joking, is getting more and more panicked.
Yeah, we need to go after them. They're at risk of dying.
The distress call from the base of the mountain is a crew member that is saying that, what exactly happened here?
That somebody has passed out.
It's slightly worse than that. So
I fucked with one of the.
They had two rangers. Some of these. They had a couple of these rangers. One was a flatbed. One was the Jeep style, and they were out conducting some research, and they they were trying to move through a large herd of these herbivores, and they ended up pissing one off, a male, and the male rammed the side of the ranger, the Jeep style one, and knocked it all the way over down off of the trail that they were riding on, and it is now on its side down in a gully. And the distress call tells you that the male that ran into it is exhibiting signs of psychotic behavior. They are guessing that he is suffering from a pretty bad concussion and possibly bleeding on the brain. And this male is highly dangerous.
Well, I think.
Tell them don't get out of the Ranger.
I think we need to. I think Bocephus needs to go to that one, and others of us can respond to the other.
Do we have multiple vehicles of that shit?
You've got the S&R pinnace. You've got several utility boats available.
Yeah, let's split up.
All right. Well, the psychotic, I don't know. That'd be my crew. I'll armor up. I'll put on all my armor and my guns. I'm going like ready to roll.
Okay.
Don't forget that if there's a angry animal or two, you can use is it
Telepathy.
telepathy will to frighten them off.
Yeah.
It's not a very high difficulty.
So who's going with Bocephus? I guess the bigger question is who, other than Jack, who's got piloting?
I've got a little bit. I'm not sure it's enough to fly to a bird swarm, so maybe I take Bocephus.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking the same thing.
Yeah, because I've got piloting at. I've got a 1 basically in it.
Okay.
And,
Well, there, yeah, good.
And so I've got a 0, but I've got a 1 for Dex. So.
Okay, so are you sending which one are you guys taking? Are you taking the boat or the pinnace?
We're gonna take the boat because the pinnace is more versatile. It's got the medical shit, and there's more people on the line. We need the better craft needs to go to the bigger task.
Okay, so you guys take off in the boat. Sarda, go ahead and make a piloting small craft plus dex check.
8.
Nice. Perfect. Sarda lifts off in the boat and takes off.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to fly to a bird strike, but I'm willing to go check out what's going on over here.
It's funny that you say that because that is actually the name of this episode is Bird Strike.
Yeah,
So
nasty situation.
So, meanwhile, over on the peninsula, we've got Jack and Randolph. Jack, you guys are heading for the birds. Go ahead, Jack, you can make a piloting plus dex check. Yeah,
With this thing.
Does
This thing have any weapons?
It does not. It's just a pinnace. It's mostly a big cargo and research vehicle.
Stimpy's gonna go on the other with the birds. He just wants to study them.
I want to see the birds eat somebody.
Well, no, he's also a medic 0, so that's why I'm saying he should go with the other.
So,
I can do sensors too.
I should have guessed this because you guys just aren't scared of splitting the party.
It was an obvious solution to 2 problems going on simultaneous.
Right. Where? What the?
I don't know.
We just need to tie off the guys with guns, an open hatch like Vietnam machine gunners out of a
I've got a gauze sniper
chopper.
I'll shoot my gauze sniper rifle.
I think we'll be fine.
Yeah,
It's the bird strike guys though.
we might get bird strike too, dude. So don't fucking think we're out of it.
They're gonna jump right into the open hatch and kill us all.
Sorry, I had to reload my page because Roll20 is not behaving.
Sorry to hear that.
There we go. That's all it took.
Hell yeah, you can get to the chopper. But I don't think we have one.
You've got Venardas, but they're kind of ugly choppers. So we've got over here we have Jack, and we have.
How about an MI-20? How about an MI-24D?
That I don't know.
Got a 23mm Gatling gun up front.
I like the sound of that.
been made by the Soviets for the Russians for what, 50, 60 years now?
And of course, this isn't a map anyway. This is just it's just a thing.
Turnover. Are we doing initiate?
Not yet, but I'm trying to get this set up. So I don't know. Not quite sure how this will work out. But so, Jack and Randolph, you guys make your way up to this ridge line, and you do indeed see essentially what this looks like is you see these guys. There are 5 of these researchers, and they, not really taking their job too seriously. They've got, their Gauss pistols and revolver sidearms, and they were literally up on this. The boat would land or hover, they would drop down out of it, and literally these 1 or 2 of these guys would climb up a tree and strap these weather sensors to the top of the very tip top of a tree, and then climb back down. They're basically bored adrenaline junkies. And this, of course, has gotten them into this current predicament. And they are now trapped, and there is a ton of these birds flying about. And as for how many of these birds, there's some birds up here. Yes, this thing's going to be huge. That's a big bird. Oh, probably need to give him a name. There we go. As for how... damn it, roll 20. There we go. Okay, so as for how many of these birds...
Damn.
Yeah, there are 18 of these guys flying around, and I mean, basically your scanner, your basically a radar, is showing you're counting 18 blips that are flying in and out, and they are busted up into 3 packs of 6. They're not. The packs are somewhat cooperating with each other, but they seem to be. Each of these packs seem to be different familial groups, and so the way their flight pattern is acting is more like if they take down a large predator, they're then gonna squawk and fight one another over the remains. So they're
fortunately don't have a jet intake.
Yes. So, Jack and Randolph, how do you want to approach this?
Jack, maybe we should hover the pinnacle over the top of the poor guys that are being shot at.
I was going to say, are the birds any scared of the pinnace at all?
Mm-hmm.
I would hope so.
Can we
Yeah,
try?
they have already exhibited signs that they are scared of these big ships. Well, it's presumed. I mean, it's not even said in the books because I don't know how maneuver drives sound, but I would imagine that any kind of spacecraft, whether it's a small craft or a starcraft, is going to make a lot of noise. So they don't like the noise. They are quite frightened of that. Not to mention the fact that the pinnace is quite large compared to them.
I think we should just I think you would just go over and hover by the door and see if we can open the door and let them in. Keep it simple.
Well, I was
I'll throw
thinking
some-
we can at least buzz the birds or circle a few times around our target to try and scatter them.
That's
us
a
a
good
little
idea.
time.
And you're the pilot.
Okay. Go ahead and make a piloting plus dex check.
Okay.
Oops.
There we go.
Oh, son of a... Not what I want. There we go. Okay. So you kind of fly in a pattern that is going to try to scatter these things. Both Jack and Randolph make a recon plus intellect check.
Eight.
Okay. So what you witness is that this does work, and they are scattering, but it seems like the more that they are, or maybe they're getting used to you guys being on the planet. I mean, keep in mind that you are the first upright bipeds that they've ever seen, and they've never seen a spacecraft before you guys showed up. But since they've been kind of messing with these five science team guys on the ridge, they're getting more and more emboldened and less afraid of the gunfire and the noise. And so they scatter for a bit and then turn around and immediately start to come back. But you are now, you're swinging back around, and you see that these guys, six of them, one of the packs is regrouping to try and attack again.
Maybe we can put them through the jet engines and barbecue them.
I don't know that. Now you're gonna make me look at the pinnace. Let's see.
I don't think we have jet engines.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't
that's
know.
fine.
Let me see what does the picture show. Well, it does show. It does look like there are a couple of intakes, and they're not. Oh, it does have a fuel processor.
That's what that is then.
Yeah, that would be. So, I mean, you could put them through the fuel processor. I mean, that's probably not going to be good for the ship.
No, we just got to scatter them to give us a heads up, because we got to land and get these knuckleheads in the ship anyway.
Well, I've got
Some
the
of them.
shotgun. I've got my shotgun ready.
All right.
Are you going to tie off and hang out the side of the boat? Is that?
Well, we got to pick them up, right?
Yeah.
As soon as the doors open, I'm
So we
there
have
with the
to land.
shotgun.
Okay. Everybody roll, or you, Jack and Randolph, roll initiative. I need to find my bird. Here we go.
Initiative is 2D plus what?
2D plus your dexterity modifier.
That's shit. I don't have one. I get a 3. Glad I got rid of that roll.
Hey, don't feel so bad. The birds only got a 4. So. Oh shit, you got a 3. Okay. So Jack, you can make another piloting plus dex check. So when you say you're trying to scatter, are you trying to scatter them and then bring it to a stop over this tree so that the guys can come on, or are you gonna scatter them and kind of try to fly back around?
Get that flame rifle in there.
Well, I'm going to scatter them and then get back on I got to land on the ground.
Okay. So go ahead and try
I'm
to
not gonna
scatter
try-
them again.
All right. So I got an 11.
Jesus. Okay. So you definitely scatter them. In fact, you hit a couple of them. Roll a d6. Oh shit. So you don't. So they're like, I don't know. If these birds had the ability, one of their talons would come up and flip you off, and you just plow right through them, and you end up just knocking 5 of them, and they are kind of in a birdly flat spin, falling towards the ground. One of them does get away, and he is going to try to attack one of the scientists.
Scientist is going to shoot him with a Gauss pistol right through the head. Except that's a mighty small head.
Ooh. He does slash a scientist. For 4 points. This scientist is kind of opened up from belt to chest with a big slash mark. Actually he's going to have to make an athletics dex check. Hey, he holds on to the tree, but his uniform is just covered in blood as this guy is hanging onto the tree. Randolph, you can get to the door and open the door. You could make a shot if you would like.
I open the door. I take a shot.
Okay.
At the one that hurt him. How far away is he?
You could hit the one that just made the attack, but because they are small, you are at a -3.
Ugh.
I mean,
can I just pull this? Maybe I should pull this guy in instead.
So they're 75 meters long with 180 centimeter, or I'm sorry, 75 centimeters long with 180 centimeter wingspan. That doesn't sound small to me.
No, it's not. That's almost 2 meters.
No, it's not. It's 75 centimeters.
Their wingspan though is 180 centimeters.
That's nearly 2 meters.
Yeah, that's the wingspan. But I mean, the body is very small. You know.
It's 2 feet.
Yeah, they're like a vulture size, which shouldn't.
Yeah, the body's 2 feet and the wingspan is about 6.
It's smaller than a bald eagle.
Yeah.
It's about the size of a golden eagle.
Yeah, I don't know.
And you're shooting at it from the door of a flying ship.
Right. Yeah, which increases your difficulty for sure. But
which is why I'm
that's
asking.
That's a whole other issue.
Maybe I should just pull this wounded guy into the ship instead.
It's probably a smarter idea.
Yeah.
you can make the shot.
I mean, if you're doing your flamethrower, that might make a better difference.
I would say that shooting from the open airlock of a moving ship is going to be a very difficult 12+ to hit.
There's no way I could do that. I've only got +1, so I have to roll.
And it's -3 to hit.
More than 13.
Okay. Okay, so you are tied off, ready for rescue. Then, Jack, what are you doing?
Well, I guess now we got to pull this guy out of the tree. He's not going to be well enough to climb down himself.
Like technically, yeah, exactly. He's
not that hurt. He's still got all of his strength and dex. He took 4 points of endurance damage, right? I mean, that's not much. My character is incredibly unhealthy, and yet that would still not take me out.
If he's completely average, that means he probably still has 3 points of endurance left.
Yeah, so.
Well, all right. So what do you want to do? You want to shoot the birds, or you want me to try and maneuver to pull them out of the tree?
We need to maneuver.
All right.
Thank you, pilot. I'll keep the birds out of the hatch.
That guy might be dead.
Oh shit. So Jack.
I wish I had a M249.
So Jack, you're piloting. You only have a +3 total.
Yeah, it's a small craft. I only have one, and then my dex
Oh,
is
okay.
2.
Okay. So what do you have for spacecraft? Just out of curiosity.
2.
Okay, so I was close. I was giving
Still be 6.
Yeah, I was giving you. Yeah, I've been overestimating your flying ability because I mean, you as an NPC, I've been giving you like a +6, and so it's like, oh yeah, hey, man, wherever you want to go, Jack's always going to make the roll. So no, this is a little bit more realistic. So Jack goes to try and fly up and get close to this tree, but because the guy's at the very top of this very pine-like tree, and if you've ever, so when I was a kid, I used to scare the shit out of my mom because my best friend across the street, he had this, and I mean a full pine tree. It was taller than our house, and I lived in a 2-story split entry house, and we would put on a backpack and pack our lunch in there and climb up this fucking tree to the top where, we would climb just high enough to where it would start to, if you lean too hard, it would start to tip over.
Bend?
Yeah, it would start to bend. And we would eat our lunch up there in this tree over the top of our house. And of course, I wasn't thinking about not doing it, and so I would just wear. I was wearing this bright red windbreaker, and my mom looked out the living room window and about shit her pants. And so I was going to say, if you've ever been to the top of a pine tree, and I realize maybe not everybody has, that's what this is like. It's very thin up there, and so Jack gets close to the top of this tree. And he doesn't bump it or hit the guy, but the tree starts to bend, and the guy is hanging on for dear life. And this tree's like, back and forth.
Another situation where it's good that we don't have a jet intake.
Yes, the birds.
Yeah, but people are not good for the engine. For little birds wouldn't matter.
Birds kill a lot of people. They take down a lot of planes.
Sure.
Well, you know how they test jet engines?
Throw a bird into it?
They take
Frozen turkeys.
Frozen turkeys and shoot them into the engine intake.
There's a woman at the Smithsonian. That was her job, was to identify birds from the bird feathers and stuff from bird strikes. And there was a really good interview with her on the podcast.
So I found this highly ridiculous. There was this woman who is now suing an airline, and I forget which airline it is, and I don't even remember which airport. Anyway, she's suing the airline because she was at the terminal and she was looking out the window and saw one of the ground crew, fuck around and find out, and got sucked into the air intake of the jet. Totally annihilated this woman that was in the ground crew. And so this woman is suing the airline because she witnessed this gruesome act. And I'm like, yeah, because the airline did it on purpose? I mean, what the fuck? I didn't even think that dipshit on the ground did it on purpose. It was...
You're within 3 or 4. You're within 4 feet of one of those things.
Yeah, I mean...
You might...
Yeah, no, it was a really bad, stupid accident. And she's suing the airline for it. I just don't see her winning. But whatever. So, the birds, the other pack comes along. 3 of them are going to attempt to try to snatch Randall out of the airlock, not realizing that Randall is tied off.
Thank God I got my cloth armor on, since that's the best I can carry.
That's a miss. That's a hit. And that's a miss. One of them does slash. What is your armor?
It's standard cloth armor.
What's the protection on it?
I have to look it up. Come on, mouse.
I know, right?
Depends on the tech level.
My TL10 says +8.
Yeah.
That sounds...
That's it.
Okay, so +8. I don't think these guys are going to do anything. Oops. You, but let's find out.
And I have my cloth armor dyed in orange with black stripes.
So this thing slashes your cloth armor. There is a big slash in your cloth armor, but it is, but it holds. You don't take any damage. Randolph,
Thank you.
What would you like to do?
I'm gonna. He is in melee distance, right?
Well, I mean, he came up and slashed, and he turned around to take off. So it would be it is an average 8+ to hit him. Of course, -3 because he's small. But yeah, if you wanted to. In fact, he's close enough. I'm gonna negate that -3.
And I'm gonna shoot the shotgun.
Go for it.
But he didn't shoot the deputy.
6. I
No, that is a miss. But it is the shotgun going off. That's loud enough that this pack like scatters. They're like, "Oh shit, this guy's serious," and they take off. But now, Jack, you are close enough. You can make another piloting plus dex check to position yourself to get this guy aboard.
Okay. How many other guys are there, by the way?
There are 4 more that are down on the ground.
Okay. Damn it.
Okay, no, that's fine. It was an average, or I'm sorry, routine 6+. So yeah, you get close enough. Randolph, what are you doing?
Can I reach this guy?
Yeah.
I'm gonna make T-shirts for our crew to just say "You're welcome."
Right? Yeah, you guys are putting out a lot of fires.
So, what would it take for me to pull him in?
That's a really good question. Go ahead and make a athletics dex check.
I don't have any of those things.
You have dex.
So then it would just be dex. 2d6
Like
plus
it's-
your dex.
Which is 0.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm assuming you're.
I get a 7.
Okay.
I got a 7.
So I'm assuming you're using like the safety belts and whatnot. You can get this guy.
Yeah.
It would just be 6+, and so you grab him and pull him on board.
Thank God.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what he says. I mean, he's like clinging on to you for dear life, and he's just like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Jack, do you want to set down on the ground? What do you want to do?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and land.
Okay, go ahead and make another
Yeah.
piloting plus dex.
Let the other 4 walk on.
Yeah,
I'm tired.
I got an 8.
Okay, perfect. So
This guy was heavy. I'm tired.
So Jack sets the pinnace down, and the other 4 clamber aboard, and you can see that these pack birds are starting to regroup again. And they, well, let's see. That's a hit. That's a miss. That's a hit. So one of them takes 8 points. He's slashed pretty bad. The other one, he takes 5. He gets slashed, but one of them is bleeding profusely. He is opened up. Like he is in need of medical attention in a rather serious way. We're well past stitches and into the staples routine. Randolph, what would you like to do?
Are these guys in the ship?
They are climbing aboard, and these birds, 3 of them just made an attack. So you could make another shot at average 8+, ignoring the -3 for small.
Yeah, just scare them
11.
away so we
Ooh.
can shut the door.
11. I got one.
Yeah, you did. That's a +3 to damage.
Which is
Does the shotgun have burst? I mean, maybe you hit one of them nearby.
It's just a
I
standard
don't think it
shotgun.
does.
Solid
No.
slug.
Yeah.
Solid.
Well, it's just a
14.
standard slug or a standard shotgun. It's not an auto shotgun. Holy shit! So, so these these flying predators only have 6 hits, and so with a 14, this bird explodes. Like just, I would say there's a puff of feathers, but they're rather leathery. So it's just a shower of blood and guts. The other two are like, oh shit, and they bolt, and the entire pack is like, nope, we're out of here, and they take off back towards the trees, trying to guard their nest. Jack, everybody's aboard. What is your plan?
I need to get that door closed, and then I want to rush back and try and treat that guy.
Okay,
Do you have
so
medic?
yeah, I mean, yeah, you can shut that door, and essentially at that point, once the door is
Stimpy can give first aid.
that's true.
Yeah, unless Jack or somebody has a better one. But I've got.
I'm-
I'll get plus
I'm only
2 to
one.
roll.
I
I'm
only
a
get
one
plus
medic.
2.
Yeah, I'll get. Oh, you can take your +2 then, because I've got a PC. And
Yeah, you're on the
also-
ground, and once the door's shut, you are essentially out of combat. It's not like these birds are capable of doing anything to the pinnace.
Yeah.
They're gonna shit on it aggressively.
They're shooting on it aggressively. They might run into it, but
Something tells me that it won't last long once we get it into space.
No. Do we have a med kit on board or anything?
you would have a standard med kit on board. So, hold on here.
I have medic plus intellect.
It would be medic plus intellect or education, your choice. And where is it? Medkit, page 90. Yeah, these are these are probably enhanced TL12s. So it's a +2 to that. So
Okay. 9. Not so good.
okay, so yeah, you are able to patch this guy up. Did you already calculate in the additional +2?
Yeah.
Okay, so he gets 1 point of his endurance back, and he is stitched up. He's still going to need further medical attention once you get back, but you have staunched the bleeding, so to speak. He's not into dual abilities. What is your guys' plan from here?
I think we're done. We're just flying out of here, right?
Yeah.
Do the other guys need help?
Did they have a vehicle?
They gotta
No,
go get
they
the
were
boat.
dropped off in the boat.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to go after Lumnuts, who went and took the boat.
Oh, okay.
It might be better to take these injured people back to the base first.
They're pretty stable. They're not. I don't think they need surgery or anything.
Yeah.
As long as they're not
I
getting
mean,
out of
Jack wrapped him in duct tape and put some dirt on it. He'll be fine.
It's all those beneficial bacteria.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they're not getting out of the pinnace, they'll be okay.
Yeah, I'm not expecting them to fight. They can just lay there quietly.
just lay back here and bleed and don't say anything.
So we have to go find the pilot of the boat, Mayak or whatever.
Well, actually, that is where Sarda and Bocephus.
Sarda.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah, I guess you just have to take back and sacrifice these crew members to whatever cause. Yeah, whatever cause you find.
So Jack, go ahead and make another piloting plus dex check, and you guys can get out of here.
All right. Not a very good one. Just
It-
the dice are not with it.
it's you're just taking off, so I mean, it shouldn't be more complicated than that. I mean, sometimes it is. So this is Sarda. Go ahead and make a piloting plus dex check.
Sure, I thought I did, but I got a 9
oh, that's right.
flying over there.
Well, this is more for circling the area and landing.
Sure. Mm. There we go.
Okay, so it is a bit of a rough landing. I mean, it's not terrible, but this is essentially what you have witnessed is going on as you are coming in. This one large armored herbivore is really pissed off at this ranger, and he is just bashing into it over and over again. This
Can I take a shot at him with my Gauss sniper rifle?
This
wanna
is
use
the overall area. They all look like pasture maggots, but whatever.
Who the hell parked their vehicles in a circle around these things?
Well, they didn't. So this turned over ranger was actually further to the west, was up on a ridge that the two rangers were traveling upon, and they pissed off this male, and it rammed it and rolled it down the ridge into this gully. This is the Deepnight boat that was attempting to, or was dropping off the guys on the hill that Randolph and Jack just saved. And in the Deepnight boat is a really panicked.
Hey, Randy, you got like a mic open or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. It's just we're getting echo on everything. It's being said.
So, this Deepnight boat is where it is piloted by a super panicked Mayak. And as you guys come in and make your landing, he is telling you that the driver of this rolled over Ranger is Chandra.
What the fuck is she doing on this? What are
these people? They were cleared by the XO.
Yeah,
But they should have been cleared to drive vehicles.
Well,
they should have been cleared to be.
Well, Chandra wasn't doing anything wrong. Both of these rangers came upon the herd, and they were trying to get around the herd, and one of the males didn't like it and rammed into the ranger. The second ranger is trying to draw the rest of the herd away and having mixed results.
I want to shoot the irate male with my Gauss sniper rifle.
Okay.
You're not worried that'll put him in full panic rather than telepathy?
I think this will put him down, and we can test him out.
I think you're gonna have to repeatedly shoot him till you hurt him.
Well, then that's what we'll do. But I mean, the Gauss sniper rifle.
Meantime, you're gonna have them panicked.
Well, if they panic and run away, then that is great, and we'll see. I am gonna use an AP round.
That's a good idea. Hold on just a second. I'm throwing you guys up here. So you will be happy to know that this is the end of the Chandra and Mayak story arc.
Okay, because we're gonna fucking leave them on this planet.
No. I'm gonna start shooting them next. As how this will go.
I think they somehow both managed to fall down that ravine.
Yes. Oh no, the tragedy. Oh.
I don't know how they ran into the bullets on the way down, but
they seem to hit every single bullet on their way down the mountain. And this guy.
Now I'll be wanting just to kind of. I mean, I'm not wanting to go mingle with that herd. I would like to be like real as close to the entrance of our ship's boat or the craft we flew in as I could. You know.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, Serta's piloting wasn't great. Um. Hold on. Okay. So it's a 5. So yeah, everybody can roll your initiative.
Sorta. I need you to be badass, man. You gotta kill them all. Uh,
Is it
uh,
not? Is it not? Oh, there it is. 0. How'd you roll a 0?
it's an 8 because his initiative is rolling under that fucking other bullshit system where you subtract 8. He rolled a 2 of 5 plus 1 is 8.
Okay. Yeah, we can take that. So since he's the pilot, we'll put him first. How's that?
That's fine.
All right. So Sarda, what would you like to do? You could better your position because right now, if Bocephus is going to try and take a shot, he's going to be at like a -2 because your last roll coming in for finding a landing site wasn't great. Actually, he's at a
I have a
-1.
scope if that helps.
I'm gonna try to hold the ship steady so he can take a shot. I think our best bet would be use telepathy on the irate male and get him to calm down.
Okay.
Right,
But-
but see, me
shooting-
using any of my psionic powers means I take I lower my next one by 1 because I no longer have a 12 in psionic, so I'll take them, and I like to save that for
It's
when.
it's 1 point. Yeah. Okay. I mean, you're gonna have to.
No. I lose.
You're gonna
one
have
of
to
my bonus.
But a success means we're done, whereas a success with a gun means you got to shoot him 4 more times. That's my thinking.
Well, I want
So-
to shoot him.
I'm gonna make a pilot check to help him get a good stable shot.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
That's
I got a 10.
better. And so, Bocephus, you can make your shot and you get a +2 to your attack. He sets you up with the perfect shot.
Okay. So I will take a +2 for the regular shot, plus a +2 for what Sarda gave me.
You can aim.
Minor action, I aim. I've got a scope, so
Well, that
there's
just negates
Then
attacks
range
over 100
penalties.
Yeah. Over
Right,
100
right.
meters.
So, and I could take the shot then at +5 total.
That is a hit
13
Plus-
blast.
with a +5 to your damage.
Okay, and I'm using the AP round, and then I have an AP of 6 with the rifle.
Yep.
Might even be more than 5 if it's large.
Actually, you're right. You're right. It's actually +8. Okay.
27 points damage.
And your AP was
6 with the rifle, and then an extra AP 4 for the. So total of AP 10.
okay. So it does not have armor.
Wow. I can't believe that. That seems unlikely.
Well, it's got armor
it
plus.
negated the armor.
It negated the armor. It's
Yeah.
only got armor +8, so the round went right through it.
It certainly seemed like it had armor.
Yeah. So you nail it, and roll a d6. because +8 is a 6. Okay. And roll 2d6.
2d6, and then I got to get rid of this +8. There we go. 5.
So you peg it actually, and you hit it in one of its legs, and you know from the bird strikes and having watched them, this is a vulnerable spot for these things, and basically this leg is hanging on by a tendon, and it is bleeding profusely. This male is likely to die sometime fairly soon, if not given medical attention. But he is acting. He's not acting like any of the others that you've seen. Make a recon plus intellect. You can both make recon plus intellect checks.
This is something based off my eyes.
Yes.
No, that's not this character. That's a different character. Sorry.
Mine's.
Yeah.
What do I get for that as a bonus?
I know.
I've got that augment.
That's right. That is right.
You'll
Okay,
get a
I know-
+1.
I know binocular.
Yeah, binocular. Let's see. Where am I?
The eyes I gave you, I believe, give you a +1 to recon and other checks and initiative rolls.
Enhanced vision, binocular zoom, infrared light, and intensifier. Because I don't think I get a bonus on anything, but I have.
Uh,
I don't, it
I
doesn't
got a
look like
14.
it doesn't look like it provides bonuses.
hold on. Where is my? What is this? Is augment, installing augment. That's torso. Arms. Come on, where's my? There we go. Head. Enhanced vision. That was that basic or improved? Do you remember?
It says on my character sheet.
Or is it? Does it say what TL it is?
Just it says enhanced vision, binocular zoom, IR light, intensifier.
Okay, so that's basic TL13.
That
So
sounds right.
I would
They're
say with binocular
secondhand.
function, yeah. So you zoom in, both of you can see, in addition to one of its legs practically being blown off, you can see that there are blood trickles coming out of its nostrils and out of its eyes, and that there's a big gash on its head.
That's probably from where it slammed into the vehicle.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, but I still want to investigate its corpse. Oh, maybe I could go ahead and shoot it again.
It is going to try to stomp the. It's going to try and stomp the ranger.
With one leg off?
Yep, and it fails.
Oh.
Yeah, it's hobbling, but it doesn't seem to be giving up its attack. Sarda, what are you doing?
I'm going to do the same thing again. Try to keep the ship stable because I
Okay.
am in the pilot box.
Yeah.
Skills. Jesus.
So this time around, Bocephus, the ship's a little wobbly. Not terribly, but you will be at a -1 to hit. Well, that's still a hit. So is 10 your total, including the -1, or?
That's correct.
Okay.
I used my minor action to aim, and I just didn't give myself the +1 for the minor action to aim, which
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
You can. Oh, I
Yeah.
see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. I aimed, but I just didn't give myself the benefit of aiming. So that's why I got +2.
Okay, so good. That's a +2 to damage.
More than that. It's a large creature, right?
Oh, right. +5 to damage total. Because that actually becomes a 13.
All right. Well then.
Okay.
How about 23? And that's with AP rounds.
Right.
So, yeah, that's what I've got loaded in.
He is really hurting. And on his turn, I don't know how smart he is. Not very. Especially with a concussion and a brain bleed.
That didn't kill him?
No.
Fuck.
Look at the
Creatures have shitloads of hit points.
Yeah, look at the balls on this guy. He's just gonna continue to go to town on the ranger, and so that's what he's gonna do. At a -2, and he misses again. He is hobbling terribly, trying to basically kind of hobbling on that one bad leg, and he is slowing down. Next round, he's going to be at a -4 because he's bleeding out. In fact, I am going to give him another d6 of damage from blood loss. We are back to Sarda. There you go.
Well, I didn't hinder you any.
No bonus or minus this time.
Okay, well then I'll shoot it +3. As I'm aiming.
Ooh. And
I'm sorry. That's wrong. I'm sorry. This is to hit at 9 to hit.
That's a +1 to damage. +4 total.
All right, +4 total to damage, and now here we go.
Okay.
Oh, 15.
Oh,
so with the blood loss, this thing, this brings it down. It finally just collapses, and kind of, you can see that it's still breathing for a few minutes, and then it just slows and dies. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna tell Sarda. Yeah.
I'm gonna try. So this is the ranger that's down, or where is the ranger that's down?
This is the ranger that is down. The other ranger is kind of keeping the rest of the herd herded and keeping them at bay.
Yeah.
They're doing distracting actions.
So I want to move in from this direction. Yeah, I want to move in from like this direction here, and hopefully make enough space to land, and also maybe get the herd to move away from the downed ranger.
Gotcha. Go ahead and make a piloting check.
Sure. That's what I want to do. Now we'll see how I execute.
Perfect.
Hey.
Perfect. And you set down. If I can get this to behave. There we go. So you set down the boat right about there. And that is a pretty good size, actually. So you land it, Bocephus, as soon as it hits the ground, what are you doing?
Well, I'm sitting right there at the open cargo hatch. I might as well make my way to the ranger and see if I can get dumbass out and on the boat.
So the ranger, let me find, where am I at? So it is on its side. It is badly damaged from both rolling down the gully and being continually rammed by this irate male. And there are actually 2 crew members inside. And basically, when this thing went rolling down the mountain, or down into the gully, everything, of course, inside that wasn't secured. The inside basically became a blender, and stuff that was secured became unsecured and bashed these guys pretty bad. The second crew member he's not nearly as bad off, but looking in, you open the door and look in. Chandra is effed in the A. A comm antenna from one of the sensor packages that they were replacing has gone completely through her torso.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Like dead center. Like,
yeah, she's dead.
she is unconscious and bleeding out. You are go ahead and make a medic plus intellect or education check.
Engineer shish kebab.
Mm-hmm. So she is alive, and if you want, you can try to stabilize her.
What kind of condition is the young guy in?
He's beat to shit, but he's not nearly as bad off as she is. She, if you don't get her to a medical, or if you don't make an attempt to stabilize her, like right here, she has about maybe 4 or 5 minutes left.
Right? Is he conscious?
Yes, barely.
Oh.
Well, we need to help him onto the ship, and then
I think I'm gonna help him onto the ship and just ignore her for a moment.
Okay. Hold on, let me pull out my Sharpie and put the X on her head.
Well, no, I mean, if she's still alive when I return, I will help her die.
well, I mean, I've parked the ship, and so I'm planning on getting out. So,
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead and apply first aid to her. He can walk out on his own.
Well,
I want her to die, man. So I'm gonna end this fucking problem. I'm just trying to do it so I don't get hit for murder. So yeah, I'm helping him out and gonna give him to Sarda to try to help him in the ship. Here, get him in the ship, and then I'm gonna go in, and if she's still alive, I'm gonna suffocate her, and be done with it. And I have a free zygote.
okay, Dr. Mengele.
You don't need to do that. You just need to wiggle that antenna around a bit. That way the
Or pull it out.
yeah. Well, I mean,
No, I don't want to. If other medics look at it and check my work, I want to kill her in such a way that I don't really get blamed. But if I just like cover her mouth with my hand and my other hand pinch her nose, it doesn't even have to be hard and forceful. She's unconscious. She's not going to fight, and just kind of let that happen.
you might want to make sure the cameras aren't on.
Oh, well, I turned cameras off. The place is fucked. There's no cameras on me, right?
I would guess probably not.
My records everything I'm doing.
Put it in the breathing tube and pinch it off.
Yeah.
Shit.
But no, I'm serious. She needs to die,
Yeah.
and so let's just make that go on and happen right here while I'm alone in the thing. I might whisper something sweet in her ear. Like, "You stupid bitch! I wasted all that time talking to you."
Well, she didn't do anything wrong. She was doing.
She didn't.
Yeah.
It's Radiation Boy that abandoned his crew to come here.
Right.
She was attacked by.
Yeah, but I have a lot of medical work invested in him, and he's in better condition while she needs medical attention, and I'm giving it to her.
He's irradiated. She's in much better condition. She doesn't have any radiation sickness at all.
That's true.
Yeah.
All of her organs are in pristine shape.
And that's why I'm collecting them for the donor program.
Well, with an antenna stabbed through her, I don't know how many of them are going to be.
See, but yeah, she's. I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna finish her off. And if anybody asks, I'm gonna say she was dead when I got here.
Okay. Go ahead and make a. As weird as this sounds, go ahead and make a medic plus education check.
All right, for science.
Yeah. So
I'm a master of my craft.
so yeah, you pinch off her nose and cover her mouth, and I mean she's completely unconscious. I mean
Yeah.
she's not going to fight it in any way, and she expires.
Yeah, and then I will, calmly on the comms, say, let's take a moment of silence. We seem to have lost somebody due to this accident. It's a terrible time. Uh, she was dead when I got here.
Well, and technically, I mean, Sarda helped the other guy off onto the boat, so he didn't even know that you did this.
Yeah, it's good because I'm recording everything.
Right.
Right. That was the idea. Is you give me an opportunity off, buddy, and I'm gonna take it. Yeah. But no, she just keeps causing problems, and if you keep causing me problems, the medications didn't work, the psychology didn't really.
Well, I mean, the property value of that entire wing of crew quarters is going to go up because there won't be a trailer park there anymore.
Well, the idea that you would take somebody who was court-martialed engineer, not a pilot, and let her drive around in a vehicle, it just seems really ridiculous. She should be suicide.
She wasn't a pilot. She was driving a vehicle. She had served her time. She was released back into the crew, and the XO thought that this was a good chance, and she was doing her job. She didn't do anything wrong to get into this position.
I would not have allowed her to drive anything.
I mean, that she got rammed was not her fault.
The problem is solved in a very spectacular way. Now we have the entertainment value of a funeral.
Mayak steps out of the boat and loses his damn mind.
Yeah. Well, now we get to court-martial his ass.
Well, no.
He abandoned his post.
Mayak pulls out his Gauss pistol and shoots himself in the head.
Hey.
Fuck yeah. Damn right. Hell yeah.
It's a twofer.
Yeah.
So what are you guys doing at this point?
I guess we're gonna clean the mess and call up a cleanup crew to retrieve the damaged vehicles, and
check on the guy that made it out of the Ranger that got overturned, and then also look at how difficult it's going to be to right that Ranger.
So you had the Ranger's not drivable. It has received extensive damage.
Right. Well, I mean, they had to be shipped here somehow, so.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you can get these out in I believe in a pinnace. Sarda, you're the one who helped carry the guy out of the damaged Ranger. Do you have medic?
No, I don't.
Okay, so you at least get him into.
I wouldn't try doing anything with untrained.
You can at least get him into the boat. Bocephus, are you heading back to the boat to administer first aid, or?
Of course, I'm a professional above and beyond anything else, and I will definitely immediately.
I'm gonna go out and body bag the two corpses here.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys spend some time, body bagging the two corpses. Bocephus, go ahead and make a medic plus education check.
I believe that makes you a proud papa if you want to ever defrost the.
Oh, I've already thought of that. I'm definitely gonna have that baby. I'm telling you. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's no need to wait any longer.
Your first aid gives him back 4 points. He is stable, still going to be. He will be in need of surgery, or whoever wants to get him back to the ship. But you guys pack everything, pack up the bodies, and basically you've radioed into the base camp to send a flight crew over to get this other boat and to try to collect this damaged Ranger. And you guys get back to the base camp. We will pick this up next week with whatever further plans you might have on Prospect. this is the most adventurous part of it. Poor Chandra, the story arc of poor deranged Chandra and Mayak with their toxic relationship has come to a tragic end next week on People's Court. But
this is what happens. You don't properly
yes, and when you don't do your background checks. Yes,
because Mike bullshitted his way onto this ship.
That's right. Yes, he did completely bullshit his way on. So everybody gets 1 XP point.
All right. I might take a point in medic.
Can't ever have. What I've discovered is you can't ever have too many people with medic skill or piloting skill or drive skill.
I am gonna snatch up a leadership skill.
That's not a bad idea
Leadership
either.
0.
Especially considering that you guys are in a command position.
That's what I was thinking. And just having it at 0 really opens up so much.
Well, I mean, it just having it at 0 negates that -3, which.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Well, this is my actual complaint with the XP systems, that I think it undermines the value of Jack of all trades, because it becomes so much easier to be trained in every skill. I mean, as it is, I've got so many skills now at 0 or 1. It's not even funny.
Right. And I have kind of come to the same. So the reason why I started using the XP system out of Traveler Companion was because the original system, I had run games where I had a couple of players where they would, spend the weeks to train up a skill, because it's 8 weeks just to get to level 0. And then they have to make their education check. Well, if their education is not great, they're going to fail more often than not. And so I had players over the course of a year that were never able to train up anything.
So the way we always house ruled it is that when you fail, you get a bonus towards your next check. So
right, because you'd already done the studying.
Right. So it was one of those things where, eventually you're going to pass because you are getting the bonuses towards.
Well, and with the update, with the new character sheets and using the extra or using the additional abilities, one of the things. So during that 8 weeks, what I would have what I would do is I would have the players make a morale check. And that bonus that they get over an average 8 would be added to their education check, because that would show that they had really spent time, studying the material and really taking notes and using a highlighter pen. I mean, I guess it could work the other way too. But generally, if you get a negative to that roll, then you didn't complete your 8 weeks of studying. You did something else during those 8 weeks. But
yeah, but I mean, at the same time, education is a skill that you get to choose and put where you want, whereas morale you do not.
That's true.
So you're stuck with whatever you rolled, and people that have low education kind of picked to have low education.
That's true.
Now they may not understand the game and everything, but those that do understand the game have intentionally hobbled themselves that way.
Right.
Whereas you start making morale a big deal, morale you have no choice over. That's whatever you rolled, you get. So I don't know. It's
yeah, that's true too. I don't know. I know that the next campaign that I'm going to run from the Wednesday night group, we are going to go back to the standard training rules. So
well, because I'll bet you, because with Pirates you're running a lot of weeks of game time, and so there's a good chance that if you're using the XP system, they're actually getting less skills than they would with the traditional.
Possibly, yeah. They get generally they get XP less often, and you guys are starting to get XP less often. Those first 3 adventures, really, you guys gained quite a bit of XP just running, and that was the purpose of those 3 adventures, because I knew that you were going to, in order to do this mission, you needed to have a bigger cadre of skills available to you.
But there's a lot of situations in Pirates where it's like we got to jump 4 jumps there and then 4 jumps back.
Right.
So that's 8 weeks right there. And so,
right.
So that's what I'm saying. It seems like there's a lot more opportunities for skill increases over time elapsing. Of course, we're having the same problem here, where entire 6 months are going by between game sessions. And so that would be a lot of skill increases that would have occurred during that time period if we were doing a traditional method.
Right, exactly. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's cons and pros to either one. I do.
I'm thinking on it. Yeah.
I do kind of feel like the standard system, you do level up skills at a slower rate, is what I'm finding.
Sure.
Man, I'm making me a deckhand motherfucker. I sure am.
For the next campaign.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna try to just to be a big buff cargo moving, kind of roughneck kid.
Yeah.
So I mean, I very seriously doubt I do more than 2 terms max on anything. I might just roll and go. Maybe go to a military.
Go Army or Marines.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I really want to be like a really young kid, and I just like learn all my shit kind of there on the adventure.
Yeah, that's going to be a long campaign too, because it's going to be, and I mean it's still a ways off, but it's going to start with Skandersvik. It's going to then move into the new Marches hardbook adventures. It's then going to go into the trilogy of Secrets of the Ancients. So that's going to be quite the lengthy campaign.
And if he lives, he'll be a really well-developed character with lots of room to learn skills and stuff. Whereas,
that's a campaign that's digging into the history of the ancients.
Right.
So
yeah, there's going to be a lot.
Scholars might be ones that really benefit from that.
That's true too.
Maybe, but everybody always needs people to move things and hit stuff. And have contests.
There's going to be plenty of opportunities to hit stuff in that. I mean, that it is basically it's going to be like a space Indiana Jones kind of situation, is the way I'm kind of envisaging it. But so we will pick this up next week on Friday at 7:00, and you guys will be able to determine any further actions that you want to do on Prospect. But pretty much everything else you have going is done, and Deepnight Revelation will be ready to pack up and continue moving on. Sweet. So Jack's going to pick up Blades 2.
All right. Yeah. But yeah, man, stocking up fuel, food, and making sure everybody had their birth control for when they fornicated.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there was plenty of fornication going on, I'm sure.
Sure. And then, I guess we are going to move along is what I'd think.
Yep. And so we will pick this up next week at 7:00.
All right. Well, you have a wonderful night. Thank you very much.
You too. Have a good night, guys.